She's one of those people like that buys you a present and then she wraps it.
I can't wait. I'm not gonna wait.
So do you want to
open it up?
This?
Open it up! Open it! Open it! Open it! I'll open it. Damn it!
That's how
you don't want to open it up right now. What do you mean? I'm gonna throw it in the trash. Don't let me open it.
Victoria, we can talk about Star Wars a little more, but let's just get this first part done real quick.
Okay, let's do it.
No.
Okay.
Welcome to the podcast, everybody.
Welcome to the podcast.
We thank you for being here. Another episode.
Can you, Frank? Can you cut in and post a rainbow between my hands when I do this?
Listen,
Hello.
I'll try. We'll see what happens.
We ask all kinds of crazy stuff of Frank. Like, can you do this?
I'm like,
it should just be a cloud of green.
Yeah. Oh, maybe. I don't. It just depends. Listen.
Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast.
And I want my hands to always be kitty paws. You're like, no.
Buy some damn kitty paws.
Yeah, exactly.
But here's what we read.
We
read
for Christmas.
Guys, we finished the last book in the Grave Kingdom series.
Yes.
The
Immortal Words.
Words, yes.
Immortal Words.
Yeah, we finished it. What we're going to be talking about today is the third book. And it was by a man named Jeff Wheeler.
He's a Mormon. Just say it every single time now.
Jesus Christ, Latter-day Saints.
He's a Mormon.
Praise Jesus. And yeah, great author. This book he actually finished in 2020, so I think it's his newest series that he wrote. He's known for writing this what is it called? Mirrorwood series?
Mirrorwood.
The Mirrorwood.
Mirrorwood? What?
It's not Mir.
Mir. Well,
you thought?
Mir.
No, I think. No, I think
no,
you're
I
thinking
don't know.
Jesus.
Yeah, see?
Frankincense and myrrh.
Yeah, yep. Got some nerf. It doesn't matter. so
use your frankincense, please.
Yeah. So it's not his most popular. That's what he's known for. We haven't read that yet, but this one was very good.
I have read it. But...
I hate when we start it like that.
No, I'm saying
it's most popular, but guess what? We read not most popular.
This is his newest, so it's not going to be as popular. It's not.
Let's not say
It's not his most popular one. We actually read bottom of the barrel. We could only afford the $5 bin, so this is what we're reading.
Well, no. Okay, here's why we didn't read that series is because it's a bunch of books. It's so many, and so we can't.
So many, we can't read it.
Yeah, we don't have time to read it.
We read the smallest amount that we could, but still get a little Jeff Wheeler.
Yeah, yeah. Yep. And we just can only take so much of it. No, that's not why. You guys, listen to me. You guys never get my point. My point is to tell them that this book series is good and it's not even his most popular. Okay? So other writers you can't say that about. So you guys can go. Anyway, Jeff Wheeler, even though you're Mormon, we love you.
Oh Lord. Cut that out.
We love you as much as you love your Mormonism.
I don't know how much. Maybe he doesn't. Who knows? Jeff, you write a great book. That's what we know about you. I have no problems with Mormons.
I don't have a problem with the fact that you're a Mormon, but I do want to know how Mormon are you. Anyway, write to us in the comments. Let's keep going.
We cannot keep any of this in here.
What if he was one of our subscribers, though?
He's not anymore.
He's not anymore.
We're sorry, Jeff. We're trying.
We're
here.
sorry.
Either way, we're just messing around.
He's one of our subscribers. Who's the person who wrote Harry Potter? J.K. Rowling's one of our subscribers. And we only have 4 of them.
Stephen King.
Stephen King's also one of our subscribers.
And George R.R. Martin.
So we hope you enjoy our just famous, only famous.
They're just stealing our ideas for our shitty ideas.
We don't even. They're not even original ideas. We're talking about.
No, we're not. We're just talking about books.
Yeah, but I don't know.
We riff real hard off other people's material.
This is why they would never subscribe to us. Okay.
I didn't think too hard. Good. I'm glad you did. That's not even one of my most popular thoughts.
This is so off the rails.
But I said it. But I said it anyway. I said it anyway, you guys.
I don't know what's happening.
Our podcast is, we made it up so we didn't have to think very hard.
Yeah, I mean, it's called Unseasoned Reviews, so we are not good at this.
This is where we come to relax. If you thought we were gonna try,
okay,
you're in the wrong place.
Let's get it together, people.
So that's what we read. We read The Immortal Words by Jeff Wheeler.
Yeah.
Don't act mad at them because we're screwing around. You're like, we read The Immortal Words, damn it! You sons of bitches!
We did it!
You didn't know that!
You asked
now
for
that
it,
you
and
know.
we did it.
Here it is.
It's
hand
No,
delivered.
you didn't even ask for this, but we're giving it right to your face. So take
nobody
it.
asked for this.
Nobody asked.
for this.
I don't even want to do it.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
Anyway.
Back on task. Alright, so now to see if you're interested, here's a little summary, courtesy of Frank.
Alright, get it together, people. I'm
now
gonna do
to
this.
see if you're interested.
I'm leaving it in just like that.
Here's Frank. By himself. The lonely. The fire is hot on his face.
If you guys have any commentary you want to add while I'm reading this, feel free to jump in.
I'm doing it right now.
Shut up.
Look.
I know what I just said. It was very open and connected, but I didn't mean it. So shut up. Okay, go. Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Hold on. Okay, go.
General So knew today would be his last. They were fighting Eshion's army, and this was the day the city would be overrun. See, General So had mounted 3 separate counterattacks to hold the Qingdao at bay, but now they were wise to his tricks. The first required building intricate bridges to stop Eshion's large ships from reaching the harbor. The people toiled day and night to build them. Then Eshion arrived with a darkness that wrapped around the entire city. But the general couldn't figure out why he did it, until he realized Eshion wasn't going to come from the sea. He was going to come from the woods. So the general mustered his men to hide, and he put ordinary citizens in armor to defend the bridges. And that day, they were able to send the enemy running. The second required living through the killing fog. But if you remember, Mushidi had switched sides and told the general how they could defeat the killing fog. And that was by putting a glyph on each of the soldiers, and it would protect them when the killing fog showed up. So they caught a soldier and they put that glyph that they found on him on all of General So's men. And when the killing fog arrived with Eshion's army, all of the general's men lay down and acted like they were dead. Then when the Qingdao showed up, the men sprung up and sent them running again. Now the third time, the Qingdao were an enraged army. The tricks that the general had played on them twice had made the Qingdao want to capture the city more than ever, and with their bloodlust, they took 3 bridges. These bridges were the key defensible position of the city. And because they took those bridges, this was why they would lose, why they would be overrun. Now the general had to tell the king that all hope was lost. As General So went to the king demanded that they stay and fight, demanded that they not give up. We must prevail. You must find a way. But General So was sure. He told the king that all they could do now was fight to the last man. That the king should stand fighting next to his men, to give them the courage to go to the grave kingdom. And the king surprised everyone when he did. But when the attack came, it was a never-ending stream of Qingdao. They were throwing themselves at the general, at the king, and at the soldiers. Bodies were littered everywhere, and slowly the Qingdao were winning. Slowly, they were dwindling the resistance. And slowly, General So, the king, and the best soldiers were getting wounded, slower, and weaker. It was only a matter of time. And as General So pondered his death, his hand heavy with fatigue, his mind unable to understand why Eshion would win, the soldiers cried out, "General, look! Look, General!" And as he turned his gaze, he saw 1,000 ships heading for the city. Smaller junks full of the other kingdom soldiers, come to save the city. Band together and fight Eshion as a united front. Today would not be the last day of General So.
Spoilers. Oh, don't spoil it.
The main antagonist in this story is Eshion. Eshion keeps trying to perfect humanity in his control. He's trying to figure out the best way. Eshion's trying to figure out the best way to control humanity. So even though he will die, he will again be reborn, and then he will try to control humanity once again. His only nemesis is the protagonist, the Phoenix. And there's a Phoenix chosen, which was chosen by the Phoenix, and that is Bingmei. She is the one that can take down Eshion, and she is the only one that can take down Eshion. She is traveling to the Phoenix Shrine because that has been the prophecy. Bingmei must go to the Phoenix Shrine and sacrifice herself to Eshion. She knows she's going there to die. Along the way, they first start out in no man's land. They're beyond this thing called the Death Wall. Eshion created to control humanity. Once again, it's all about control. He wants all the power because he's power hungry. So this wall has been told to people, if you go beyond this, you're dead. That's what happens when you die. You go beyond it, you're dead. And guess what? It's also guarded by a bunch of people that will shoot you if you come near it. So this thing, beyond that land, there is no civilization. It is literally no man's land. So that's where they're at, and that's where this Phoenix Shrine is, somewhere out there. Bingmei is being pulled to it. First thing they encounter is this Maywood growth. Now, if you remember Maywood weapons from this series, all it is it's a special type of wood that you can make magical weapons out of. That's what makes this so cool. But you didn't see Maywood anywhere. You didn't see these trees anywhere. It was such a unique find to find one. Now they find this humongous grove. So it's like a wild land. It's like a wild land. That's where we're at. We're on the wildlands where just nature can do its thing. But
and plus it is a wild land, which so not only are people not there right now, but like it's been left alone for so long that all the creatures that are there have ruled it. We got bears, we got lions, we got all kinds of creatures that are really strong and terrifying. It's like literally walking into a huge forest of you know, what are you going to find in a rainforest? Anything's going to kill you.
Yep.
That's terrifying.
It's absolutely.
You think about it.
But
they have to go. They have to go through it.
Yep.
And also the animals, they're not. It's almost like they're being controlled a little bit by Eshion too, because they immediately start attacking Bingmei.
Yeah, these
But
lions.
that kind of makes sense too, because Eshion's magical, and then he's basically scared everybody over a period of centuries to stay away from this place.
Yep.
And so he's ruled over entirely.
It's control.
Like all the animals there have no other interaction with anything but Eshion.
It's their whole life.
So it's
all
like,
they know.
Yeah, that's all they know. They don't have control over, like they don't have anybody interfering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost think it's more like all of his safeguards. Like it's like different levels of safeguards getting towards the
like traps and locks and booby traps.
Yeah, like he's using the natural resource.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
But it's almost like it's been his personal playground as well, because no one's been there.
Yeah.
So it's like who else would know about the animals that are there but him? So it's like anybody who walks into there literally is like walking in blind.
Bride.
Yeah, the Princess Bride with the
levels.
It is
the levels of the zoo.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it's like.
Yeah.
Right. So
That's
they
kind of
go.
what it's like.
They go to this Maywood Grove, right? They go to the Maywood Grove. They find that. They find the lions. The lions are attacking them, and then the leopard cat that Quion got attacked by way back in book 1, then befriended him at the end of book 1. It shows back up. We thought this thing was either dead or lost.
Like,
a long time ago,
It's
when
glowing.
the city was taken, they lost the cat. Now it shows back up, and yeah, it's glowing. Don't know why it's glowing.
Why is it glowing?
But
We
it
have no
scares
idea.
off the lions. This and it's
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like a mountain cat, like a lynx or
It's
something.
a leopard. It's like a snow leopard.
Oh yeah,
It's like
a
a snow leopard.
It's a snow leopard. You're right. Yep. Which isn't bigger than a lion. Definitely not bigger than a lion.
It's not. No, it's not bigger than a lion. But
scares off
why
3
is it
of them.
glowing? I have no idea.
I don't know.
Yeah, it scares off these
That's
big
very
ass
good.
lions.
Yeah.
And I thought it was so funny too how like they're in like a Maywood Grove
Mhm.
and they have the cricket and they use it and they jump up into trees and stuff and they escape these lions in the trees, and the whole time I was thinking like lions climb stuff. It's a cat. They'll just climb and kill you.
It's just like when
And
people
then they
think
do
bears
that.
can't climb
I was
or
gonna.
run.
I know. I was getting so pissed because I was like, they're gonna still. I mean, what are they doing?
Yep.
And then I was gonna be so pissed if they didn't actually make the lions climb. And then there was that moment where it's like, because of the fact that Queen and Bingmei have never seen these animals before,
Yep.
they've never had to interact with them. Literally,
Imagine seeing a
Wildland,
lion
they have
for the
their
first time.
Yeah, imagine seeing a lion
All
for
of
the
a
first
sudden.
time. You have no idea what it can do. So you climb a tree, and us knowing what lions can do, we're going, oh, don't just do that. It's
It's like
they're-
a scary
it's a
movie
cat.
where you're like, don't go outside.
Mhm.
Don't go up the tree. And then they went up the tree, and I was gonna be so mad if they didn't start climbing. And right when it's like Bingmei's like, and I look over, and the big cat, the biggest one, jumps to the tree and starts climbing after Queen, and I'm like, oh my god. Like, it was a great moment. I was just, it really was a thriller. I was like, fuck, what are
Yeah.
they gonna do? Where are they gonna go?
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's when his cat shows up. Finally, they attack it a few times, but then the cat shows up, scares off. The leopard
Yeah,
shows up,
scares
scares
them
off all
off.
the lions.
And at
And-
this point, they're just thinking, what else are we gonna freaking encounter here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Right.
Yep. And they
And
think
it's
there's
crazy too, because she has to fight her hardest for her life, harder than she's ever had to fight, just to go kill herself.
no.
Biggest mind
That's-
fuck right now.
No joke. Right. Cool. I'm literally reading.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
prophecy, baby. Just like every yeah. Okay.
Jeez.
Now after this is when they find this weird butterfly tree. It's this weird looking white tree with all of
Dude,
these like blue
super
flowers on it. Super weird looking.
She
And
doesn't even know.
instantly-
She's walking up to it, but she sees like it's moving weird.
Yeah,
That creeped me out. It
Yep.
was creepy.
like there was something
this
weird
is
about
creepy
these
scene.
blue flowers. And then they realized
Yeah.
it's butterflies. That's what all those were. They're not blue flowers.
Not
they're
only that,
butterflies.
though.
Before
now
that,
it's like-
I mean, before they even realize it's butterflies, isn't it before what she finds in the water?
Oh, a bunch of basically the water's full of bones.
Yeah, she thinks it's rocks at
And
first or
Yeah.
whatever. It is not.
Yeah,
rocks.
shards of rocks. It's not rocks. But then the creepiest part was when they disturbed the tree a little bit or whatever. Queen got crazy. Queen
Yeah.
was like, I'm going up to this damn tree. And
He's gonna
Queen's
eat a
been
butterfly.
he's been the most calm, cool,
Rational,
collected guy you've
yeah.
ever
Rational,
met in your
yep.
life. You're totally dependable, always. He's the number one guy. And he starts attacking Bingmei because she's like, no, you can't go near this tree. I know, I can sense that it's messed up tree.
Yeah.
And she's fighting her senses because
Yeah.
everything in them is telling them, go get one of these butterflies and eat it.
Yep.
Eat it. Eat it. Can you imagine? Can
Yeah.
you imagine? Ooh.
Like a Krispy
And then-
Kreme.
It's like a Krispy Kreme. And you're like, no. And then, yeah, that moment in Shrek 2 when it's like, you're not gonna like what did she say? She's like, you're not gonna like what I have, look what you've made me do. And he's like, what is it? And she's like, my diet is ruined.
Right? Yeah,
Anyway.
they pull up to the
I
drive-thru.
love- Yeah.
It's like,
I love,
Biscuits.
like, what does he get, a whole mace or something, or an
Oh,
axe?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Here you go, dear.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just love it. My diet is ruined.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they have this huge urge to go up to this freaking tree, and Queen's like literally violently
Like rabies.
trying to get to the tree. It's like freaking rabies. And then
Or zombies.
this is the worst part, because you're thinking all you have to do is stay away from the tree. That's all you got to do. Bingmei, you got this. Knock Queen out. And then you have already, fought your urges. We're fine. No, you're not fine. Because what happens next?
The dragon.
The fucking butterflies. No,
they
the butterflies
Oh yeah, they swarm them.
and try to force themselves into your mouth. I'm
Yep.
like, oh my god,
So-
this is creepy.
Yeah, so not only is she fighting Queen, now there's a swarm of butterflies, and what I thought
She's
was the grossest part is they're like, she could feel them fluttering in her clothes, and I'm just like,
They
ugh,
get
you
all
can
in your
immediately,
clothes.
yeah. I
Blah!
know. So I'm like, gosh.
That's nasty, dude.
And she can't talk to Queen because
She can't open her mouth.
yeah, and then she knocks him out. She knocks Queen out, and you're like, fine. She falls down into the water, into the sharp shards of bone that are all around her, skulls, everything. She knows people have come here, been incensed, seduced by this tree to kill themselves over and over again. How many of them were Phoenix-born? How many of these people that have ended up over here?
I don't know. And then, so then you're like, okay, how much worse can it get? And she senses a frickin' dragon, right?
Yep.
It's like,
The dragon's coming.
Dragon Queen shows up,
on.
which is Eshion's girl. This is his main girl. So actually, there's really two antagonists. Eshion and Shisi are the two dragons, and they are basically combined power. So they can live without one another, and they can be immortal without one another, but their powers are heightened together. So that's what we do know about these two. And it's because they made a bond a long time ago to get this immortal power, that they had to do it together.
yeah.
Well,
there
they're
has
two
to be,
halves to a whole.
there
Yeah.
has to be a
the
yin
balance.
and a yang. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's
Except for these are both assholes, so it's not
Right.
a light and a dark. It's two dark.
So it sucks.
two darks.
Yeah, it's like
well,
milk
no,
chocolate and dark
it is
chocolate.
light and dark, because the only difference between your light side and your dark side is one side you can see and one side you can't. But assholes know that they're assholes. I mean, if they choose to be that way, right? And that's their light side. Their dark side could also be asshole. They just didn't know that they had that much asshole in them. Just saying.
I don't know. but
I'm
these
just
people
saying.
A lot of
are dicks. So
assholiness
this
going on.
dragon queen asshole shows up.
They suck, dude.
Yep, and she grabs a butterfly and she puts it into this like weird little cap on her fingertip, and then she just kind of starts talking out loud how she's going
Dude,
to end Eshion's reign.
No,
once
it's
again.
not even like kind of talking out loud. She starts having a full-on mental break. You're just like, how crazy is this lady? Because I remember listening to it, and I'm just like, she's crazy, dude. Like,
Yeah.
she's just like, and I'm gonna, like, it's like me. If I was walking up to the tree, knowing what the tree is, I would be doing my little dance thing where I'm like, gonna get a butterfly, gonna kill my husband. She literally, that's the level
Again,
of weird.
kill my husband
it's
again.
going
Is what
on.
she says.
Kill my
Again.
husband again, and all I gotta do is take this butterfly, and then I'm gonna kill him. Like, she's having a full mental break.
Yeah.
It's like, and then she freaking Queen wakes up after being knocked out and trying to freaking
Yeah.
kill Bingmei to get
And
to one of these
struggles
butterflies.
against her.
He wakes up, makes a little bit of a noise,
Yeah.
and then Shisi goes into full mental breakdown mode of like, Eshion's watching me. Where are you? Where's the camera? You're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, dude, this lady is psycho.
Yeah.
She's a literal psycho.
Yeah.
He has issues, man.
But what we do find out here
Crazy.
is that Eshion can be made mortal once
Be
again.
made mortal and be killed because she's done it.
Yep, she's done it before.
A
And
billion
so
times.
that is what makes this moment so powerful. Is it's
true
like, yes, you
representation.
came close to death, but it was worth it because now you have a little bit of hope inside you. We can take down this dragon.
And now
asshole.
let's keep charging forward to my real death. Here
Yep.
it comes.
But yeah, she does know she has to die, so it's like, okay. So she's
It's
going.
such a weird
It is.
situation.
weird
Knowing you're
concept.
going to die. So
But you're fighting harder than ever to live right now.
yeah,
Right. To make
because she
it
has to die
Yeah,
at the
well,
shrine.
right.
a
at the-
specific place.
Well, I know. It's like at this point, you're just like, like anybody who comes up to attack her, you're just like, I'm going to do your job for you. You don't have to do anything right now. Can't you just be lazy for 5 seconds and let me keep going? I'm gonna be dead in like 10 hours. Chill out. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just such a weird
It is.
situation.
It
Yeah.
is. So they keep heading. They're heading towards this Phoenix Shrine. They get attacked by this
Well,
dragon.
let's just say they finally get there. They get to the
do.
Phoenix Shrine.
They know Eshion is chasing. Eshion is finally, like, as soon as Queon and Bingmei get close, Eshion almost can sense her, and he knows exactly where she's at.
Yeah.
It's weird. And so Bingmei can also feel Eshion, so they can kind of sense each other. So now it's this race to the shrine, and Queon's ahead of Bingmei, and they're both trying to get there, and finally Bingmei's like, I can feel Eshion. He's right here.
Yeah.
I gotta go, dude.
Like, I can't wait for you
right
anymore.
now.
I can't. And Queon is sitting there having this really sad moment of, I wanted to be there with you because I know you're going to die, and I didn't want you to die alone.
Yeah.
I wanted you to have somebody, and it's just such a touching moment. But Bingmei can't wait
Because of course, Queen's the most badass dude.
The most badass.
He's her ride or die, right?
Yep.
Like, he's like...
He is her ride or die.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
man.
I'm
And
gonna be
he's-
with you till the end. You're like,
Yeah.
I know. And she's like, I can't wait for you. I gotta go.
yeah, she's finally, it's like, it's not about anything but this prophecy. It doesn't matter what I want. It doesn't matter what anyone wants for me, sadly.
Yeah.
I've just got to go and make it happen.
Yep.
So I got to go,
Too
man.
many people have died on my behalf.
Yeah.
So she says, throw
We did a
down
whole
this
bunch of
cricket, Queon.
peace.
Yep. Give me the cricket.
They took a couple pictures and she left.
Yeah.
Then she
Not
ends
exactly
up
accurate.
in the pit. That's exactly what happened. And then she was like, Queen's like. Anyway, so they end up at the Phoenix Shrine, and there's a freaking tomb there, right? Isn't there a freaking tomb just for
There's
her?
a tomb
It's
just
like
for her.
this.
It's waiting.
It's for the
It's
Phoenix.
so that's what I mean. It's so freaking creepy as hell.
And she knows.
Well, I mean, this has happened a billion times. So anyway, she's got to get in there. She's got to lay down. So creepy. Lay down in your tomb and shut up. And she has to get in there.
Dude, but the
It's like
scariest
the
part,
scene.
She's.
the scariest part is she lays down in there and then
Shut
she
up and
stares
get
up
in it.
and Eshion's right there. He's waiting to kill her. He
Yeah.
shows up.
Of course he is.
Can you imagine? Like the
And-
the picture in my mind though was Eshion like mad crazy hair, lightning going off behind
God,
him, you
he's
know,
so weird.
kind of that just horror scene of like where the lightning flashes and you see his face, and he's standing there with the
Ugh.
spear. Like, oh, it's so creepy.
It's freaking. It's
It's
freaking.
not even standing there with a spear. He's standing there with her damn sword in his hand. It's like, come on.
He's like, oh, fancy meeting you here, and you're just like, God damn it, man.
Can I just enjoy my
at this-
tomb before
I
I
know.
die?
Can I just lay down? I just want to lay. I'm doing it myself. Why are you guys all trying to kill me? It's the worst day of her life. Knowing you're gonna die, but she's just like everything's trying to kill her as hard as it can. But then whatever, she finally makes it, and she dies.
Eshion kills her.
And it's crazy because right now we're all smiling like, finally, dude. It's
about time.
Good job, damn. That took a lot
been on
of
a
work to
2.5
die.
month journey, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, finally she's dead. Good. and then you're like, okay, what happens next? It's kind of like wakes up, right? But
No,
she
she
sees
says
someone coming
she
toward
feels-
her, right?
No, she feels her
Soul.
her spirit, her
Spirit.
soul, leaving her body.
Actually, because she's died so many times, but it's different now.
Yeah, now
It's
she's
different.
like she's dead, so she's leaving that spot, and feels like she's gonna go to the Grave Kingdom, but then she gets sucked to this other place, and it's kind of more like heaven. It's this beautiful place. The Grave Kingdom is like dark and gross. It's like seeing two roads, two paths that you can go down, and one's light and the other one's dark and stormy clouds. And she just zooms past the dark and stormy and goes to this light place. That's
Yeah.
called Tian. And as soon as she gets there, she meets her lover's brother, and he becomes her guide and tells her where she's going, which is to meet the Phoenix. So now we're finally going to meet this magical being that has been talking to this girl throughout her entire journey.
She's the Phoenix chosen. Now
Yep.
she's going to meet the one that chose her,
Yep.
and hopefully get some answers, because
Yep.
Yeah.
none of us know what the hell's going on with the
Yep.
Phoenix situation.
Yep.
Because we've seen a bunch of the dragons of Eshion and Chisi, but it's like finally, third freaking book, we're gonna find out what's this Phoenix all about. What's going
Yeah.
on?
Yep.
Yeah.
The one that's supposed to be able to take down the dragons.
Right.
Yeah.
So she gets there with Rowan's brother, and she gets to the Phoenix, and the Phoenix tells her, hey, guess what? You dying wasn't the sacrifice. What's actually going to happen is I'm going to be reborn as your baby. So you
literally worst day of Bingmei's life. She's
you
like,
hold on, you got to go to the future and you got to have sex with Rowan
listen
to have a
future.
baby, and it's going to be
back
me
to the future.
and also
And
the
the
Matrix
past.
or something. I don't know what's happening.
I'm inside you, but now you have to let someone else be inside you too, and then once they are, then I will be really, and then you're gonna have me,
you.
and then I'll be outside of you. Bingmei's like, all right. Point. Okay, that's what I'd answer. Like, okay.
What is also really cool about this part, though, is that she gets to meet her Phoenix sisters, some of them, right? Who
cool.
have been through this journey, and I love the fact that they point out that there's another. They've tried several different things, right, to figure out what's the secret sauce to beat Eshion's ass, right? And I love how there's so like Bingmei has that heightened sense of smell, and so there's another sister that has no smell. There's one that can't see. There's one that can see really well. I just think that's so cool how it's like we've tried all this shit and all these people are rooting for her. It's like another ensign of hers, right?
But that is cool, but at the same time, it's really tiring to me because I'm just like, I'm so sorry, you guys. The Phoenix is like, I'm the Phoenix, and I got all these powers, and I'm really cool and stuff. And it's like, but we kind of had to do a little bit of eugenics because we had no idea what we were doing at the beginning of this. And you're just like, oh my god. There was some poor bitch out there who couldn't even fucking see, and you're like, you're the Phoenix. And she's like, cool. Thanks.
Make your way to the Phoenix Shrine
before
this guy kills you.
You can see her.
Shrine somewhere no one on this earth has ever been. And she's like, I can't see. Like, what? Go
before this guy kills you. Before this dragon kills you.
Literally, go save the world with your no eyes. That's what we're calling you, no eyes. On the other side, you're like, fuck. It's so sad. You're just like, dude. And Bingmei right now, she's just like, oh cool, I have all these Phoenix sisters, that's cool. And it's like, but you're not done. And you're like,
you have to have a baby.
Okay. You gotta have a baby with future Rowan.
But they've been will she, won't she, will he, won't he, for so long.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of weird because they haven't even kissed each other. Now they just have to go and have sex together.
In the future.
I don't know.
Where he's also, if you think about it, like, so in the future, and there's always been this thing of like they're going to end up together. So in the future, she has to go in the future, and she's really cheating on herself, with herself. It's kind of weird. Like, you're going to go sleep with your husband in the future. Where is she at in the future? Like, she has to be there in the future somewhere.
It gets weirder. It gets weirder because Rowan is blind.
I mean, come on, what kind of
Bingmei isn't allowed to speak. So we're having some disabled sex.
Okay,
very disabled. I'm just saying, it's fucking. You get to the end of it, and you're like, what is going on?
Well,
it's like there's this general sense of knowingness that is, you don't need your senses anymore. It is a knowingness, and it's like, well, I kind of liked him. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to argue with you, Phoenix. It's just wow. Your decisions are fun. Really fun, really exciting. Anyway,
it's a confusing.
It's a confusing what it is. But she does it. She does go to the future. It does happen. And then she is dragged back to her body. She finally gets to come back to the real world because now she has to go and have this baby, like gestate and whatnot. But before, when she gets back to her body, she like gets back there, she's alive for 2 seconds, and then she dies again. And you're like, son of a bitch.
Can you just stay alive for a little bit?
What is happening? And so then she gets dragged off to Fusang as her spirit self. But the cool thing here is she hears Eshion's plan. Eshion has this big plan of how he knows that last general that's surviving for the regular good people that's going to fight him.
The last standing. Army standing against Eshion.
Yep. And he's the leader of it. Well, that
Yeah.
guy's going to go and attack Eshion at Fusang. He's going to surprise him. But Eshion knows that's going to happen. So he's going to let him in so far, and then he's going to ambush him and kill him. So
Yeah.
Bingmei
Total
realizes,
massacre.
oh shit, I got to tell this guy. So she finally comes back to her body. Now she's alive. Thank God. Quion's there, and they both realize, dude, we have to stay at the shrine because that's what the Phoenix said. I have to stay here and wait
The
until
only
I'm
way
gonna
I'll be
have this
safe.
baby. Yep, it's gonna
Me and the
protect
baby
me.
will be safe.
Yep. Is if I stay here at this shrine. But now I know that Eshion is going to kill the last general and the last remaining army against him unless I do something. What the hell can I do? And then she has this weird idea. Wait, the general won't go if I call Winter early. If Winter's here, he won't leave. So then she reaches kind of inside of herself to talk to herself, but really it's the Phoenix. Weird connection that they have.
I mean,
'cause
baby.
Yeah.
it's-
She's talking to her baby.
She's talking to her baby that's a little embryo.
Don't.
And
Let's not get into it. Pro-life, pro-choice.
Don't.
We're not.
Let's not.
That's
Don't think about
I
it.
wasn't gonna
Is is it the Phoenix right
Stop.
now, or
stop.
Wait.
Stop. Not.
Let's cut it out.
She does ask the Phoenix though that is this magic possible to call Winter early? And Phoenix is like, hell yeah, it is. To call Winter early,
Yeah.
and you see snowflakes basically start to fall immediately, and this huge storm comes over, and Winter's here, and so now we're thinking, okay, maybe the general won't go now, but she can't leave, so she's stuck
in
at
the
that
shrine.
shrine. So
well, here's the point. We didn't say this. She can't leave because Eshion and Shisi have done this a billion times. There have been many Phoenix chosen, as we said, that have had to have a child or whatever. We know this now. And Eshion and Shisi made a pact because children and women are under only the control of Shisi. Eshion cannot control them. But Eshion was like, hey, if a baby is born, a daughter is born, of the Phoenix born, it will be the Phoenix, and I will what's it called, the reckoning will come.
Yep.
And if the reckoning comes, that means the end of reign for Shisi and Eshion. So Eshion's like, so Shisi, even though we fight all the time, even though we argue all the time, we can't agree on anything, I want to implement killing
A
the
law.
firstborn daughter. A law.
no,
an
not
iron
the
rule,
firstborn, all of them.
All daughters.
or killing the daughters for
A
the next
season.
year.
Yeah.
Right? Or a season.
Yeah.
I want to kill all the daughters that are born because then nobody can rise up against us. So now Bingmei is pregnant, and if she leaves this Phoenix Shrine, she will be caught by someone. It doesn't matter who, because it's not just Eshion that's killing the daughters. It's made it a rule. So
Right.
everyone is
Yeah,
upholding this
yeah.
law. Every person is against her. So she has to stay in this Phoenix Shrine, or else her baby could die, or she could be killed.
The other thing that this Phoenix Shrine does is it kind of hides them from Eshion. It's almost like they go into another dimension, I guess, because it's like they can't even go there. That's what they make it seem like too. So not only is that iron rule out there that would basically kill Bingmei's daughter if anybody caught her, but also this thing is just hiding them completely in another dimension. They will
Yeah.
be here. They're going to be fine. They know that.
Yeah.
They'll be taken care of if
They'll
they
be
stay.
taken care of. So it skips
But they
forward.
can't tell anybody anything that they know. So that kind of sucks.
Well, yeah, they can't have no contact with the outside world.
Right.
Nothing.
They're isolated.
So this skips forward 7 months, and we find out that they're still at the shrine. She's getting close to having the baby. They've been helped this entire time by birds. The Phoenix is known as the what do they call it? The mother of all birds, or something like that. It's
Yeah.
the bird of
Yeah.
birds, essentially. And so these
Yeah.
birds keep helping them, bringing them food and whatnot. And then this other cool thing.
Break into it's the bird.
Bird,
Bird.
bird, bird.
Bird is the word.
Seriously, that's the Phoenix. Okay, so the
for 10 minutes. Bird. We're all doing it.
that's a Family
Everybody's
Guy
like,
joke too.
this is awful.
Okay, but then what happens is the baby comes and they have to leave. They have to get out of there because the Phoenix tells Bingmei kind of this. It's still like talking to her like almost telepathically, I guess, but there's no other being. I don't know. The baby's there, I guess. It's a weird thing, whatever. But the Phoenix tells Bingmei.
Don't question it.
No, I don't know.
Right.
But the Phoenix tells Bingmei,
Read
you
it,
have
let us
7
know.
days after that birth to leave because the protection is gone. And so it's like, well,
Which
shit,
is great.
now we gotta go.
It's
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Just had a
Yeah,
baby.
because being made the Phoenix is made out to be the most merciful creature ever.
Mhm.
And it's like, but to
Hey.
be the most merciful means some people need to have horrible, awful lives of
Right.
tyranny and destruction and sadness. So get out of the Phoenix Shrine because you need to go out there. And she's like, all
I
right.
just had a baby.
Yeah.
I love it.
She's like,
Get out. She's kicking her ass out of there.
well, and she's like, and the dragons are gonna know where you are. So I hope
Everyone's
you're battle
gonna
ready.
know.
I hope you're battle ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, gosh damn it. Like, she hasn't
I know
practiced.
it's your first child. It's like,
And she's like, man, I've been laying around for 7 months.
yeah, I haven't been able to leave. Literally, I'm atrophied. And you now you like run around.
Yeah.
I'm pregnant. I just had a baby. Okay.
It's
whatever.
like, it's like,
7 days.
I have 7 days to get ready for summer.
Yeah.
7 days to lose 30 pounds.
Hot girl summer. Here we go. It's just like, I'm not gonna eat anything. Queen's like, nope.
Well, it gets worse. It gets worse, and it happens pretty quick.
It does.
It does, because they leave, and as soon as they leave, winter's breaking, so they know that the storm is over too, that the whole winter's gone. They're going to go tell this general everything that's going on to try and help them with their last stand against Eshion. That's the plan right now. But as soon as they leave, Eshion comes and fights them. And unfortunately, what happens is Guion dies, his cat dies, and the baby is stolen. So instantly it goes to shit. As soon as they leave, they're basically a day outside of the shrine, and it all goes to shit. So Bingmei, how she finds all this out is she is scared Eshion away, but then Eshion called forth this flood. That's how Guion died and the cat died. Well, Bingmei goes back to goes and finds Guion's body next to the river where he called the flood. She revives him, and that's when Guion is all sad, saying that she came and took the baby. He had her, and she took her. And so now it's Bingmei and Guion, and Bingmei says to Guion, well, I need to go find my child, so I'm gonna peace out now. And now Guion's left there.
Yeah,
by
again, she's
himself.
like,
Yeah.
listen, I can't take care of you. I gotta go. Like,
Yeah.
I gotta go find my baby.
Yep.
I have an actual baby to take care of. So
Good
why don't
luck
take
to
care
you,
of
sir.
yourself? I resurrected you, and now I need to go.
What more do
See
you
about
want?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally resurrected you, and your cat's dead. Bye.
Yep. Yep.
Like, oh my god.
It is just the horribleness of Bingmei's life.
And Cheesy is that freaking bitch that we earlier is having a full mental break. Like, I'm gonna kill my husband. That's where her baby is.
Again.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah.
it's not good.
So, Bingmei she goes to Siwei. She tells them that Eshion is coming there because she sees his plan. He's gonna impersonate a soldier. She sees that, and they try to ambush him, and he lives. And so it's like, okay, well, we tried to kill Eshion, and he lived. So, sick.
Whatever.
Dude. Yep. Then she tells the general what she saw, that Eshion knows you're going to Fusang to attack him. It's not going to be a surprise. And guess what, General? You have to go. Because I've seen the future, and that's the only way we win. It's kind
It
of
only
like...
gets better.
Keep
Keep on trekking.
Keep on. Well, listen what Bingmei had to go
Did
through.
you-
She's like, you guys can put up with a little bull. And-
Look, my child could be dead right now. I don't even know. Okay.
Yep.
So you need to go kill all your men.
Yep.
Okay. Just
Yep.
everybody chill. All right.
It's kind of like
Keep your fucking
Marvel.
composure, General.
If you've seen Marvel, spoiler alert for Marvel. If you've seen Marvel, and you saw, wait, have you guys seen?
No.
I won't
No.
spoil it then. So anyway, we'll move on from Marvel. 'cause
You
these guys
can.
haven't
I
seen it.
hate
No,
Marvel.
Danielle wants to see him at some point. Okay. So she tells that general, you got to take your army. He knows you're coming, but you still got to go,
Fusang.
dude. Yep. So she goes to Fusang herself. She can fly now. So that's how she's traveling so fast. That's how she got to Siwei so fast and left Guion. So now she travels to Fusang. As soon as she gets there, she sees where her baby's at, where it's being kept by Shishi. She goes when nobody's in the room with her baby. Oh, guess what? It's a trap. They knew she was coming.
Yeah.
And she's met with 2 of her old friends that were in her ensign, are Shishi's warriors. Yep. They're in this world, you have 2 souls. Well, one of them controls like the mind, logic, and the other one controls like your emotions. Well, their emotional side is gone completely. So these are just like brain dead soldiers.
So like, but they still know everything about her.
They know
They're like,
everything.
what's up, bitch?
I know we
And
fought
she's
together.
like, oh, dang. Hi, guys. And they're just like, don't try and manipulate us with emotions. We have none. It's awful.
No, they say
Yeah,
it's
go on.
fine. They say my life is so much better.
Yeah,
without emotions.
they literally are like, I don't need
Yeah.
my emotions. Like
Yeah.
I'm better without them, and
Yeah.
they just weighed me down. And
Yeah.
It's
just
Now,
this
you know when your
weird-
heart's broken? Your heart's
Yeah.
broken and you get to that numb place where you're
I'm
just like, I don't need
a
anything.
romantic partner.
I literally don't need anything at this point. That's where they're at.
I'm just gonna exist.
It's a bad place
Yep.
to be, but
So
they
she-
love it. So
Supposedly.
Bingmei's trapped there in that room with her, and then Shishi shows up and says, "Look what little bird I caught!" And Shishi's basically telling Bingmei, "I'm gonna kill you now." And Bingmei's like, "Sick, dude." And she's like,
Yeah.
Bingmei does tell Shishi though. She says, "Well, why don't we kill Eshion together? I know you want him dead. I heard you talking. I heard you having your mental breakdown.
Right.
I know you want him
Yeah.
dead. Let me join with you. We'll do it together." And Shishi's like,
and they
"You
both
would
started
never."
singing the song. Who is that girl I see staring straight back at me? She's like, that's exactly what happened.
It happened right after, because Shishi goes, "You would never accept my terms." And Bingmei says, "Try me.
Mei's like,
Try me."
yeah, try me, bitch.
And Shishi says, "I want your baby."
Yeah.
And Bingmei goes, "You were right.
You
I will
already
not accept
have the
those."
baby.
Right.
You
You're right.
literally already have the baby. That's what I would have said.
No,
What do you mean? I don't
Bing
have
is
my
like,
baby right now.
But-
you called my bluff. You called my bluff.
but yes,
No, I won't accept that.
right after Bingmei thinks that, the Phoenix says, "Make the pact. I consent." Now, if you remember, the Phoenix is her baby, so you're like, "What? You're
No.
consenting? You're gonna stay with this dragon queen?"
Yeah.
You're not supposed
Oh,
to
yeah.
consent.
Yes. And Bingmei sitting there
I'm pretty
stunned by what
excited
the
about
Phoenix
it.
said, and then the Phoenix says it again. "Make the pact. I consent."
She's like, do it, girl.
Yeah.
You don't
And-
know my methods. She's like, you're right, I know.
Yeah. And so
Don't get it.
Bingmei says it and blows Shishi's mind, and that's when she says, "Who's that girl standing there staring right whatever?" And
Back at me.
and they basically make a blood pact where they're compulsed to do whatever their end of the pact is. So
yeah.
Shishi has to go and make Eshion mortal so Bingmei can kill him, and Bingmei has to give up the baby to Shishi. She will always have to give up the baby to Shishi. She can never, she doesn't have to do it for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's for the rest of her life.
I can't even imagine.
It's the
Like,
worst. So Bingmei's life is
Imagine
horrible.
holding
Horrible,
your,
horrible,
holding your
horrible.
baby and you're compulsed to give it away.
You
Like,
and
what?
when she wants it, yep, it's gone.
Yeah.
So they make this blood
But you have
pact.
to also understand that her baby is another immortal being that just chose her. So
Yep, chose her.
start thinking about your kids more on those lines, all right? You don't know.
No.
If your
So-
baby consents to just go with a stranger, you should probably let him go.
Oh my gosh.
That's great advice.
Never let Victoria watch your children.
I'm just
I
like, the
mean-
man came and he was like, I'm the Phoenix, and I was like, I know this story. Go ahead. Go on.
But I don't want to go.
Oh, they consent, so I'm just like, okay. Where's the child? I don't know. They decide their life. I don't decide it. You're like, what? I'm not a tyrannical ruler, okay? Like, oh my god.
That would be the worst.
That's like, I want to go with the guy that has the dog. I'm like, okay. Bye.
I get it.
I want to go with him too, but I guess I can't. Let's all go.
Okay, what are we doing? Anyway,
going with
Listen,
strangers with the dog.
this is where I got to use listen. Okay?
I'm having my little she's
You're having a mental
and I'm
breakdown.
like
Okay.
crazy. Okay.
The blood pact has been made. They are now sisters.
You could even
and-
say the blood pact has been made.
What the hell happened?
You're like,
Okay.
get the hell out of here. Get out.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Nice work. Okay, they Bing made it. They Bing made it. Okay, they Bing made it. Now Shishi says, but I don't trust you yet, so I'm gonna keep you here in this room, and I'm gonna go make him mortal, and you're gonna stay here while I do that. But Bingmei says, hell no, and she convinces her
We
other
won't
friend
go.
that's at this place, this dude, to come there by using her ability to talk through birds, and she convinces the other dude to show up, and those two take out the two Ensign sisters that have been, basically, their emotions have been taken out of their body, that one of their souls has been taken from their body. And so they take down the sisters, and then Bingmei brings back their soul so they have their emotions again, and it's a big happy family. Now their ensign's back to its original with besides Kunmia. That's like the only big one that's gone. Okay, they're in Fusang. They got their 4 crew members. Now they're gonna go get Rowan, her lover, the one she's gonna make the baby, the one that she made the baby with, but in the
In the
future.
She made the baby in the future
Yes.
with it. That hasn't happened yet, but it will happen.
But it
And-
will.
yeah, now we're in the past, and she had the baby
Yes.
before making it in the future.
Yes. With the guy she hasn't even kissed yet.
Don't
This guy
question
hasn't
it.
kissed her yet, but she's
Don't
kissed him.
even
That's
think
the weird part.
That's what you're reading right now. Just keep reading. Shut up.
So, Bingmei sees that Shishi poisons Eshion. She's using her sight of birds, or her ability to look through birds' eyes. She sees that Shishi has poisoned Eshion. Eshion
Now-
is
He's
now
mortal.
mortal.
The-
Finally.
Ooh.
Yep.
It is time
Yeah, finally,
to
dick.
take him down.
Finally time to kill him. So, Bingmei goes there to fight him, and it's going to be this big epic battle, and they're in this humongous, like, it's almost like a humongous, I would call it, it's a palace. It's a humongous, like, palace.
Or
Think of like a,
Colosseum.
no, it's like a throne room, I think. More
Yeah.
like that. Humongous
So we're
room.
in a huge throne room.
Huge throne
They're
room.
having a battle.
They're having a battle, and they're fighting each other, and then Eshion kills her. And you're like, what the fuck?
You're like, again, can you just stay alive at
Yes.
this point? Like, come on.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, at
And-
this point, I'm like, is she alive? Is she dead?
Yeah.
Who are we? Where
Yes.
am I?
Yep.
What
Yep.
time do I exist
Yep.
in?
And then what happens is Rowan shows up. Now, if you remember from book, I think 2, Rowan has this healing ability, and he brings Bingmei back to life. And that's when we learn Eshion and Shishi are
Shishi.
like twin souls, almost twin people that have to rely on each other for power. Well, Rowan and Bingmei are that same thing. And so now that those two are, but a phoenix side instead of dragons. And now those two are
Yeah.
together, and they say, let's go fight Eshion together. And when they
Yeah.
get there to fight Eshion, Bingmei fights Eshion, Rowan starts fighting Shishi, and they're a huge battle again. It's kind of out in the open, I think, this time. And then this eclipse happens, where all of a sudden the sun goes completely dark, and you can see this little outline of it. And everybody starts looking up at it because they're like, what the hell is going on? And Bingmei is smart enough in this moment. She says, it's the reckoning. And that scares Eshion as he's staring at this horrified. Bingmei takes
Because
his
the
sword.
reckoning is what happens when his reign ends, right?
Forever.
Forever.
He's done.
Dunzo. Because before he's been able to come back over and over and over and
Yep.
over again
Yes.
and reign again. But the reckoning is like, nope, done.
Yep.
Well, and not only that, the reckoning means that all the people in the Grave Kingdom that are doing the work for him. So imagine that you live a life that you don't live super well, so you go to a place where you kind of have to pay back for the sins that you've done. Nobody's been allowed to pay back for the sins they've done because of the fact that the reckoning hasn't happened for centuries and centuries. As long as Eshion and Shishi don't get a reckoning, all of those people are basically stuck. Like, they're dead. They can't encounter their families on the other side. They can't atone for any sins that they've done. They can't learn anything. So for centuries, it has just been hellish for all of those people. I mean, Eshian's literally the worst evil ever.
He is the
But he's terrified of the reckoning happening because that means he's going to have to pay for what he's done as well. And so will Shishi.
Yep.
So they do not want that to happen.
Yep.
Yep.
And so as soon as the Bingmei sees that eclipse and she says, "That's the reckoning," she says it out loud. Eshion staring up at it horrified. She takes her sword and she stabs him through the heart. And he's kind of like stuttering back, like, what the hell, because he's mortal. And then she writes this sick-ass glyph on him, which is just like writing in the air. And it's there. It calls forth magic, essentially, is what they do. She writes this thing called, like, I think the death touch on him. And instantly, he just dies. Eshion has finally been beaten. So it took her... It took her dying like 8,000 times.
Yeah.
But she did it. But Shishi's still here. Soon as Eshion is killed, Shishi goes crazy, turns into a dragon, and starts trying to kill Bingmei. But then Rowan turns into a phoenix that's just as large as the dragon, essentially, and he fights her ass off. And Shishi goes running. So she doesn't get captured, and Rowan's going to chase after Shishi, but he gets called back, essentially. I think Bingmei calls him back. But the threat's not over yet. Now, the remaining Queen Dao, which was the mercenaries that Eshion controlled, come to attack Bingmei. And her and her old ensign are fighting them. And then General So finally shows up with the rest of the good army. And they overpower the Queen Dao. But before they kill them all, they the Queen Dao, they show mercy because the Queen Dao lay down their arms. And then Rowan is pronounced king. And he shows them mercy because that's the point of the Phoenix, is it shows them mercy.
It shows mercy instead of like Eshion and Shishi, where it's all about power and control. Yep. So
they give them a choice.
Shishi's still alive.
Yep. Now hold on. All we want to say is this: after that, Quian shows up with the concubine that was helping Shishi look after the baby. Quian just shows up with her and says, he knew it was Bingmei's baby. And so finally she has her baby back. And Quian seems to love this concubine girl. They have this weird little connection going, so that's also wonderful. And the final terrible thing, though, for Bingmei is she still has this compulsion to give her baby to Shishi, since Shishi's not dead.
There, right?
Yeah. So if Shishi were to ever come back, she would have to give her baby up. So Bingmei and Rowan are married. They get married, but now every night, Bingmei has to give her child. She does it. She gives it, I believe, to this concubine that Quian is with.
And Quian. Yep,
yeah.
They both.
They take the baby and they hide the baby somewhere from Bingmei so she won't know where it's at. So that's kind of the final torture. This girl goes through all this trouble, dies 8,000 times, goes through all this hell, and still she can't even just enjoy her baby and put her baby to sleep at night. It's awful. And finally, there's an epilogue that tells you a little teaser about Shishi, but we're not going to tell you. You got to read the book.
You got to read the book. And the biggest thing for me is, like, there better be another book. Or I could see them doing a spin-off or something where they combined, or I don't know, but there better be more. Because they leave a lot open.
They left it open. He left it open.
Yeah, well, they left a lot untold.
Yeah.
Because what happens to all those people in the grave? The reckoning hasn't happened. I want to know what happens when the reckoning happens.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it will happen until Shishi
dies.
Yeah.
Maybe, but it's also supposed to be with the Phoenix itself.
There's some weird magic going on. The Phoenix has to rule.
Yes.
But Shishi's still alive.
Yep.
And yeah, Bingmei's got an awful life.
Awful.
Anyway, let's hope that there's another book.
And he said he might come back to it. He said he might, but he already had other stories in mind, so he's working on some other stuff. This came out in,
thanks,
I think the
Jeff
last
Wheeler.
One came out in 2020, something like that. This third one.
Yeah.
So it's still relatively new. He's working on some other stuff. So maybe in the future there'll be another one. But it was a good series. We loved it.
Super good.
Super good. We're gonna have to read the Mirrorwood at some point.
Those are really good. Too.
But now
Guess what we're reading now, people?
Guess what we're reading next?
Super excited.
Actually, hold on.
I'm
Hold on,
excited.
hold on. I'm so excited.
I just get it.
I want you. I want you. Is it I want you or I want to?
I have no
Oh.
idea.
I don't know.
I
Here's
get
what
too
we're reading.
excited and then I'm out of breath by that point.
Star Wars, Heir to the Empire.
Dun, 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 dun,
Oh my gosh, I'm so.
dun, dun,
I've never read a Star Wars book.
dun. Just like keep going. Anyway, dude,
I've never read a Star Wars book.
they've never read Star Wars books, and if you're listening to this and you haven't read a Star Wars book, you've missed out, bro. Like you've
Yep.
missed it, and just
But you can with
Yeah.
us.
Just
You
you
can with
miss-
us.
Yep.
you've missed the boat, bro. Because
Yeah.
they are so good. I've read so many of them. We need to read the Han Solo trilogy too. There's a bunch.
The X-Wing
Of them.
Chronicles.
It gets a little too technical for me. You might love it though, because you love technical information. It's like they're into it. They
There's
are
a lot of them.
the people who write X-wing, Y-wing. They get right into like the technical specs of the planes, and you're just like reading it like this is an engineering manual.
I don't need to read that.
I don't need to know this. But yeah, the Darth Bane trilogy, the Han Solo trilogy, the frickin' anything by Timothy Zahn or Drew Carpathian, amazing story writers. Drew is the guy who did the Mass Effect books and wrote the dialogue for the video game. So if you've ever played that, amazing dialogue, amazing character progression, and just backstories and everything. They're so good. But now we're gonna read this one. It's gonna be so fun. Okay,
Yeah.
you guys
Heir
go.
to the
You guys talk
Empire.
about you guys talk about what you think.
Well, here's what's cool. Here's the coolest thing about it. This is where Victoria has told me the story many, many, many years ago. This is over 10 years ago. She told me about this, that she read it. Because this book came out in 91, 92, 93, somewhere in there. And she read it a long time ago. And she told me that it was amazing because there's this really cool badass bad guy in it called Thrawn. Now,
Yes.
Thrawn is part of the Empire and the after effects of the Empire, and so she said it was just he's the coolest character. And what's sick about this, and why one of the reasons why I chose to read this, she's told me I should read this a long time ago, but one of the reasons right now why we want to is because Thrawn is showing up in the Mandalorian series, so he's finally getting put into the universe, the Star Wars universe, and he's going to show up in Ahsoka, the series they're making about her. Thrawn's going to be in it, and they already cast the person that's going to be playing it. So this is the perfect time to read this book. And the other cool thing is, if you like the original 3, this takes place 5 years after that. So I'll read the back real quick to give you a teaser, unless you have other thoughts.
No, I'm just super excited.
I have one thing I want to say before you do it. Go,
Yes.
go, Yelly.
I was just saying, like, as you can probably tell, we are huge Star Wars fans. Our mom introduced us to Star Wars when we were just little,
I had
probably.
an X-Wing Lego and a Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely grown up watching Star Wars, so super excited.
And we loved reading. Why did we never read it?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either, dude.
I
Because
think
they are
it's because
so
our
good.
mom didn't read, so it's like we never.
Yeah, but we read.
I don't know. I can't explain it. I
We
don't know.
read books.
I didn't even know there were Star Wars
I
books though
didn't either
until
until
it
you
was
brought
like
it up.
2006. Yeah. So the one last thing I want to say before Frank reads the back of the book is one of the coolest things, the reason why every single person should read about Thrawn, even though he's a bad guy. The way cool thing about him is he is so good that the Emperor is the most xenophobic person ever. He does not like aliens at all. He is like, humans are the only species that should be in positions of power. I don't like any other species, right?
Just like
He is so hateful just toward any other species. And Thrawn is one of, like, he's the only
This blue guy.
alien He's a Chiss. He's the only alien who the Emperor who has ever made it to Grand Admiral. And the biggest question in your mind before you even start this series, the number one thing you should be asking is, how good do you have to be for a xenophobic emperor to decide, I'm going to give you a position of power? And this book is going to answer that question. And you're going to die from the strategy alone of
Yes.
Thrawn. You're going to want to be a better person when you read about Thrawn. You like, that's what it makes you feel like I can be better.
I can do
than
better.
This. I can do amazing things if I just work hard. Like that's if there's a glass ceiling, he fucking threw it. And you're just like, how did he do it? It's amazing when you read it. Just saying. If you want to be inspired, read about Thrawn. You're just like, ugh, you just go, dude. Even though he's doing bad things, but you're still like, fucking boom, 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 boom. You get so excited. I'm so freaking hyped. Anyway, sorry.
Yes.
Read the back of the book.
Okay. It's 5 years after the Rebel Alliance destroyed the Death Star, defeated Darth Vader and the Emperor, and drove the remnants of the old Imperial Starfleet to a distant corner of the galaxy. Princess Leia and Han Solo are married and expecting Jedi twins, and Luke Skywalker has become the first in a long-awaited line of Jedi Knights. But thousands of light years away, the last of the Emperor's warlords, Grand Admiral Thrawn, has taken command of the shattered Empire fleet, readied it for war, and pointed it at the fragile heart of the New Republic. For this dark warrior has made 2 vital discoveries that could destroy everything the courageous men and women of the Rebel Alliance fought so hard to build.
Just got chill.
Right?
Shit.
Right?
All I'm
And the way
saying
they write the back of the book, it's just enough tease. They don't give you anything. They don't give you anything. You're just like, what? But what happens? I don't even get a tease. Once you get into it, like it starts out where
Oh, don't.
it start.
Just
Okay.
we're gonna read it.
We're gonna read it and we'll review it on our
Yes,
podcast.
we'll talk about it. So, listen, this was a longer episode. We thank you everybody for stopping by. We finished the Grave Kingdom series by Jeff Wheeler. On to Star Wars, Timothy Zahn.
Yeah, we're
And-
trying to make this more succinct as well. We're working really hard to try to give you. We didn't even do the beginning
We're
part.
gonna do it.
We will. Frankie
do
will
that.
cut it in.
Just
It just worked.
Okay.
you had
Sorry.
to just go along with it, man. We're so close.
We were.
Okay, I gotta cut that.
Sorry.
But
Anyway.
we're trying to make it succinct.
We're trying to make it more succinct for you guys, just in the spoiler
But also good.
section. Yeah,
Succinct,
we
but
want to
good.
tell you the story. We want you to be interested, just in case you don't have time, or this is the only interaction you're going to have with the book other than reading it. So we want the spoilers to be good. But we are working really hard, and we're sorry we're so not consistent right now. But we're working
We're
on it.
getting it. We're getting
So
it.
stay tuned, please.
Yes, and
Or
if-
just
and-
tune in at all.
Listen, it's gonna get good, man. We're gonna get good at this, and you guys are gonna want to be here. So
Yeah,
comment,
we're gonna get good at this, so
subscribe.
don't judge us. Subscribe
You
to
can
this.
judge me right
and
now,
just stick with
but it's
us.
gonna get better. I
You
promise
can't
you.
judge for
Only
him.
gonna get
Do not
better.
judge me.
And,
We are. We're trying.
We're trying. We'll be better.
It's hard to be good at things. You know what I mean? Relatable.
It is true. All right. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Thank
Have a
you.
great week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.